Hello everyone, welcome to Basically Netta. I'm Netta and this is a very small book haul. So a few weekends ago, I went to this bookstore called Bakka-Phoenix Bookstore, and it is located downtown Toronto. And I really wanted to go see it because I've heard a lot about it, but I hadn't been to it. And I was going out with my friends, so I decided, let's just go and check it out. And it is like one of the only bookstores that I have found that is just science fiction and fantasy books. Like, it's an indie bookstore, it's an independent bookstore owned, and it's just basically has a lot of fantasy and science fiction books, and they have author events happening and community things happening, and it sounded very interesting, so I decided to go and check it out. And somehow, the day that I went in, they had a YA Canadian author there, and I didn't want to interrupt anybody. I didn't want to be like, oh, hey, can I film while you're talking? And because it would have been kind of weird. Well, like, she just started talking, and I just didn't want to interrupt. So what I basically did was I just looked around. It's a very spacious area, so I just looked around and kept to myself and just kept quiet. I just did my thing and I looked at the books, and it was kind of interesting to hear this author's story on how she has been working on her books and stuff, but I just didn't want to intrude, basically. And there were a bunch of people who were actually listening to her, so I didn't want to do any filming and stuff like that. So maybe I'll just put some of the pictures and those things that are down in their website. I'll definitely link their website in the comments. No, not in the comment, in the description. And if you want to check it out, go check it out. They are the oldest SFF bookstore, independent SFF bookstore in Canada, and I have not seen any other SFF bookstore, specifically science fiction fantasy bookstore, that is around the Greater Toronto area. So I think they're the only one around here. But if you know any, link them, let me know down in the comments. I'll definitely check them out. But I think they're the only ones that I've ever heard of them. Yeah. So they were established in 1972, I believe. And yeah, they've been in the community for a long time. And yeah, as I was going around, I found 2 books that I actually bought, and I couldn't find the one that I actually went in for. So I'm just going to talk about the ones that I did get from Bakka-Phoenix Bookstore, and then I have one more that I will talk about. So in this book haul, there's only 3 books. As I said, it's a very small book haul. So the first one that I picked up is the second book of the Emily Wilde series. It's the Emily Wilde map of the Other Lands by Heather Fawcett. And yeah, I'm not finished with the first one yet. I'm taking my time with it. I like it. I just like to read it physically, so I'm taking my time with it. Do not judge, okay? Yes, I bought the second book before I finished the first book. People do that, okay? So yeah, I bought that one. And then I went to the, I was looking at the sales section of the bookstore, and there's, I found this book called Clock Secrets, Heavy Fire. Clock Secrets, Heavy Fire. This is by Drew Pagliasotto. So I had never heard of this story before. I had never seen this before. I just looked at it and read the back, and it sounded interesting. It is a steampunk fantasy adventure with a bit of romance in it, and I was interested. But this is the last book of the series, and it's $2. And I was just like, okay, it sounds interesting. It is a short book, and if I find the other two before this one, I might read them. If I don't, I'll just read this for entertainment. And I was like, okay, I'll just buy this one as well. So, and then they gave me a bookmark. So if you want to see which, and I think they have their socials at the back here. So I'll link them down in the description as well. Then I was like, oh, I can't find the book that I want, which is, I was looking for The Grace of Kings, because the hold on The Grace of Kings on the Libby app, it's ridiculous. I had it, and then when I had it, it was like in April or May, and I only read like very few chapters. Like I think I read like 6% of the giant thing. And because I had other books that came out at the same time, and I was like, okay, it went away, so I left another hold on it. And the audiobook is like ridiculous. It says like a year or something for the audiobook to get there. So I have been on hold for both the physical and the audiobook. I was just like, why don't I just get the actual book, because I really wanted to read it. And you know what, it's a pretty book. It'll just be on my shelf if I read it, and I'll just be like, no, I don't want to continue with the series. So I was looking at the bookshelves in there and in Bakka-Phoenix, but they didn't have it, and I would have to like order it. So I was just like, okay, maybe I'll just order it later. I'll come back, because there was a whole event happening at that time, and I didn't want to be like, oh hey, but you know, I want to buy this book but you don't have it, and just be like very interruptive. So I just left, and then I was like, oh, I realized that I had this gift card from, I think it was like November, December or whatever, that my work had given to me, and I was like, okay, maybe I should just use this gift card towards the book that I want. And yeah, so I just checked Amazon, which is, the gift card is from Amazon, and I checked Amazon, and Amazon had it, and I looked, and it was just like, oh, it's on sale and you can get it for like this percentage off. So normally it's like 29 bucks or something Canadian, and then I was like looking at it, and it was just 20 bucks. I was like, okay, fine, I'll get the 20 bucks. So it's, and then I was just like, okay, it's gonna arrive a bit later. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever, I'll wait for it. And then last week it arrived. So this is what it looks like. I'm gonna show you the bottom. I'm pretty sure this, and look, the back. Like, this is how it arrived. And I'm just like, you told me it's a new book, okay? A new book. But it's been cracked at the bottom. Look, it's been cracked at the bottom. And the pages had been folded at the back with the whole cover being folded at the back. Really? Amazon, thank you. I was like, okay, maybe that's why it's 20% off or something. But it didn't say that when I was looking at it. It just said, oh, we're having a 20% off sale or whatever on these books. And I was like, okay. Anyways, it's the content that matters, not the actual, like, what it looks like. I mean, I've been trying to flatten it. It's kind of working, but it's not meh. It'll probably just get shoved in between my books and then it'll be like, and it'll look fine. So yeah, I also got the Grace of Kings the past 2 months. So I got these 3 books in the past 2 months. And yeah, that is the tiny little small book haul that I have. Let me know down in the comments what you're reading. Have you been buying any books lately? And yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.